Hello again, my name is Musondech Pampata. I've been doing quite a few of these blogs, and the whole point of my blogs is to try and get to the bottom of my ailment, which is bipolar disorder, which I've been diagnosed with by the doctors. It's something that started in 1999 in America, and I thought I'd gotten away with it. After 13 years, I didn't have any issues until 2 years ago. I had a relapse, and I had another relapse earlier this month. So I've been documenting the events of how everything has been going on, and I got to a point now where I realized that every time I get emotionally attached, I get emotionally attached to either women or, in this case, church. I got emotionally attached to church because what had happened is I got disappointed by, so obviously, by a woman, and then I went into church seeking the Lord, seeking Christ, seeking answers, and all of those things. So when I went into church this time around, I realized that everything that I needed was right there. I believed that all my answers were going to be granted to me. So I found myself in a situation where I was so helpless and I gave in. That's what you're supposed to do. I believe that you're supposed to be broken to the point where you don't even think at all. And then Christ is going to like raise you up from the ashes and basically build you up. So that's exactly what I did. So I realize now that my disorder has got to do with me. It's not so much to do with the diagnosis as it's been placed, because even when I go to see the doctors, I notice they're just busy guessing. They ask me a lot of questions, and they're just writing a lot of notes, and at the end they just recommend some medication, change this, add this, remove this, things like that. So I don't really get any answers that I want. So ultimately it's up to me to solve this puzzle. Anyway, so what I've realized now is, yes, I have been attached emotionally to women in the past. That's what initially triggered it. In 2014, I believe I was attached emotionally to the church, and I got disappointed. It's the time when I was an SDA, and I realized that the whole Ellen G. White was, for me, didn't sit well, because I had been a Bible scholar. I knew the Bible very, very well. So when you introduce the concept of Ellen G. White into a biblical context, for me it just doesn't make sense. And I was so in love with the SDA church that as far as I was concerned, I had hit home. I had, that was it. There was nothing else left for me to ever learn in life. And I was so passionate. I mean, if you attend the church, you would understand. People there are very passionate, and they're very, very helpful. And it's something that I would recommend for anybody. The only problem is the Ellen G. White aspect, of which I realize now that is what triggered the last episode. I'm beginning to understand my disease now, and I'm beginning to understand myself even better. So if I am going to defeat this thing, I need to work on my own emotions. It's the emotional part of me that basically got disturbed the whole time I've been having this ailment. So if I can control my emotions, then I can control this disease whatsoever. Like I keep saying, I'm still on the medication up until a point where I feel comfortable enough to stop using the medication, where I feel like I'm healed. As it stands right now, I'm not going to stop taking the medication, not because I don't feel confident in myself, but I mean, I've done it in the past many, many times where I just literally just stopped, but I had no education then. I was just stopping because I told myself I'm not sick. And for the most part, I was right, but then I wasn't curing myself, you see. I wasn't getting to the bottom of it like I'm doing right now. So basically, I just wanted to make another video to say I'm getting to the bottom of this, and I'm beginning to realize now that it's got to do with the emotions. You see, the emotional state that I find myself in, whether I'm involved with a woman, I'm involved with anything that I feel strongly and passionate towards. But something must have triggered it in the beginning. And like I said, the whole point of me even doing this video blog is to get to the root of it, to find out exactly why in the first place I even started having this. So something in the beginning triggered this thing 17 years ago now. You see, as I'm recording this, it's 17 years ago. I'm not sure how long I'll record this, but once I crack it, I will definitely blog the version of me having cracked it. Another thing I've realized is the more I speak to myself or the more I blog, the better I feel about myself, because when I first started, I was so uncertain of myself. I was so uncertain about talking about it because I just concluded that there's something wrong with me, and that's just it. There's something wrong with me and nobody can ever help me. So I'd given up. That's one thing that's changed now. I'm not going to be as negative as I've been before. So I just wanted to state that as well for the record. But anyway, I just want to say thank you for listening. And for those who are only struggling to experience this, I tell you there's hope, because I'm at a stage where I feel I'm halfway through sorting this problem out. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm going to get there. Thank you.